Hi, I'm Hayes.
And I'm Layla.
And we're blind. I bet you didn't see that one coming.
Because we didn't either. Hi everyone, I'm Layla.
And I'm Hayes.
And today on this day that this is being released, is a very special holiday involving love. Yippee! And so we wanted to do a little bit of a Valentine's Day themed episode and just talk about all things blind romance. And it's not absolutely like as different as you're probably expecting it is, but there are some things that like I guess we wanted to talk about. There are a lot of questions that we get asked a lot, and so we just kind of wanted to go over all that.
Yeah. Okay, quick disclaimer though. I'm 17. I'm the oldest one in this podcast. It's not like we've got that much experience.
We do not have that much experience.
Either way. Obviously we're teenagers, so, we have our little crushy crush moments. So, I mean, though we don't have a bunch of, like, real-life experience for you, it's not like we could tell you about, like, marriage or anything wild like that, but we just want to give a little insight on what it's like to be a blind teen who does still experience attraction, which kind of brings us to our first topic, funnily enough. I know, I'm just, like, so great at this. No, I'm actually not, but...
You are, Hayes.
Transitions are not the vibe, honestly.
It's okay.
But that actually worked. So, one of the biggest questions I'd say we get asked is, how do we know, or I guess decide, if you will, whether or not someone is attractive? Or, like, how do you develop interest in someone? So, obviously, it's going to, differ from person to person, but... I don't know, Layla, what's your...
I think for me, I mean, first of all, obviously, it depends who it is. Like, if it's a, 30-year-old man, I'm not like, oh, I wonder if he's... Well, I mean, sometimes I do think that. But you know what I mean? Like, it obviously depends, who it is, right? I think, first of all, someone's voice, I definitely have types of voices and, different voices that I'm like, oh, their voice is kind of hot. Even if I don't think the rest of them is hot. Yes, I do love British accents. That is, yes.
We talked about this once, but yeah,
yes. It might have gotten cut out. Because... No,
it was there. I just cut out the part where you told me.
I put someone on blast that I should not have.
I took out the name part, but
I
still
kept
it in there because it was hilarious. What episode was that?
I don't remember. Go on a scavenger hunt and find it for us.
You have to listen. Don't tell them in the comments, y'all. Make them listen to every
make them listen to every episode if they haven't seen it.
Then we get streaming time.
Yeah, exactly.
But
also, no, I'd say...
Thank you so much for all the new follows, really quickly. Thank you, Campbell's mom, for getting us a bunch of new follows. You're the best.
You are awesome. Okay. So I think their voice really, attracts me sometimes. And then also just their vibe. I have, obviously I have my type, and I have people that I like, and just the way they, again, their vibe, if they seem chill, if they, make jokes, if they, laugh easily, if they, talk to me pretty easily and, aren't weirded out about my blindness, which we are going to talk about in a little bit. And just, their whole vibe, I think, obviously I don't, see, looks, but you sightlings aren't attracted by just looks, right? It's all of it, right? It's the whole person. And so I think for me, I would say it's that as well, just by just, their looks,
Yeah, no, definitely. I would say for me, pretty much the same. There are some people that their voice is just, really attractive. And, that's, the thing that, I'm like, oh, just, there are some people that, some other girls that see a guy and they're like, wow, he's really good looking. And then, you talk to him and it's just, there's, no chemistry there or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it can be like that with, voices, obviously, you could just be attracted to them from a looks perspective. Same with blind people with voices. And then, I would say personality, though. I mean, it should be this way for all people. It's probably not, but I feel like personality is really the thing that gets you to stay with someone, though.
Yeah.
I would date someone with a voice that I probably wouldn't find attractive immediately. If they had good personality.
If their personality
I'd be
really
oh my god, why did I ever not
That's their voice. I love it now. And then also, there are people that, my friends' voices. I have friends that, and I've told them this, that I really like their voices and just think they're really attractive. That you, sighted people all the time, like, have friends that they casually think are pretty or think are like handsome or whatever. And like, I have friends that I'm like, your voice is actually so fine. And like, I'm not like
Yeah,
romantically
exactly.
attracted to you, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I feel
Yeah,
like
no,
we
like I'll
notice
just be
that
talking to
too.
someone random and I'm like, your voice is so pretty. And they're like, huh? And I'm like, that's just me calling you
It's,
pretty.
yeah,
Like,
like, I'm just,
it's literally
that's
the
my
blunt
way of
version of
calling
like,
you
if I'm
pretty.
like, your voice is
Exactly.
beautiful, it just means that I think, I don't know, it's a blind compliment. I
Yeah,
don't know.
100%.
I guess a next topic, the big one that we have addressed before, but we won't be mean and make you go watch the whole episode. We'll kind of recap it here. Is do we only date blind people or do we only date sighted people
We made
or
a whole
do we
episode
date
about that?
both?
Wait, I'm
We
confused.
didn't do a whole episode, but we got asked it in the Q&A.
Oh, in the Q&A.
Should we do
We
another
probably
Q&A,
did.
y'all?
Yeah, comment if we should do another Q&A, but we actually need questions because I really had to push for questions last time.
We would love to do another Q&A if you have questions.
Yeah, but we need
But yeah.
questions. But
Okay,
anyways,
yeah, back to the topic at
back to
hand.
the topic at hand. I'm sorry.
That was my bad.
Yeah, for me, for me personally, I do not care whether someone is blind or sighted, but I do have a lot of opinions on the subject, and I'm going to go into them. And if Hayes wants to cut them out, she can. I think, like, marriage here, would it be logistically easier for me to marry a sighted person? Yes, because they could drive me around and they could, help me with all the sighted stuff that I will admit I need help with. And it would just be like easier and my life would probably have less strain on it. But would I pick a would I pick a sighted partner over a blind partner just because of the fact that they're sighted? Absolutely not. Um, I have had several crushes on both varieties, and I really don't think that I don't like to discriminate like that. And so like honestly, would it be easier? Yes, but do I care? Not really. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, and I do agree. I think also in the beginning, sometimes it is easier to find blind people rather than sighted people, because, like, sometimes sighted people just don't know how to act around you at all. Like, they meet you and they, we've talked about this, but they just act weird around you. They, like, freeze, they talk to you like a kid, whatever. But also I feel like a lot of times, like, you aren't naturally immediately thought of as like a potential like romantic partner, if that makes sense. Like, obviously there are going to be some exceptions and there are some people that are gonna be weird about it and like think it's
There are always
quite
fetishizers.
attractive that
Yeah.
you don't need help, that you need help with quote need help with everything. We don't, but but it's definitely easier sometimes to find blind people, but I think you can definitely find value in connection with both. So
100%. And I mean, that's a valid question to have. Like, I mean, I'm sure there are some blind people out there that have a preference either way.
And like,
And
that's great.
to an extent, I think that's fine. Like, obviously it's fine to have a type. I think if there's a point where it becomes like almost like ableist, I think that's a little extreme. But again, I think it's fine to have a type. And so I'm sure there are people that have preferences, but we're just not one. Neither of us are one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Agreed. And so, like I said, it can be harder to meet, people to date in general as a sighted person or blind person, especially sighted people. Because one big thing that I feel like you do miss out on is body language. So
100%.
I think a lot of, flirting, if you will, is done in visual ways, like even just like prolonged eye contact. Like that can really like validate, oh yeah, this person is like into it and they like me and maybe I should make a move because I can tell that they're interested. You do miss out on a lot of that. And so I would say sometimes it's harder to feel comfortable taking that extra step because you're like, what if this is all in my head? So I guess like you have to pay more attention to tone rather than their body language, which could definitely like take away a lot, if that makes sense.
100%. I think you definitely have to get very good at reading non-visual cues. So tone and their voice, and you have to get good at like spatial awareness. But yeah, I think it's definitely like it makes it harder to know, especially because people can be very unreadable, especially if you can't see their like facial expression too. Like, are they smiling at you? Are they like over you talking to them? Are they like,
Especially
leaning
guys.
forward? Especially,
Guys are
yeah,
dumb. Guys are really
100%.
dumb. Be
Yeah.
more obvious, y'all.
Yeah, I know. I
Stop
mean,
being
people
hard to
say like
get.
guys can't read hints, but also like I don't. People try and give me hints that I don't understand.
Well,
So
yeah.
maybe I'm
Also,
stupid.
sometimes me and Layla are both just kind of oblivious in
Yeah.
general. So,
But no, I mean it is hard, but I also think I've become a better like judge of like voice and tone and how much they say and how much they don't say and
you
like
can
all
read
that
the Riz
stuff.
now.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a pretty good Riz reader.
I
I'm really
cannot read
not,
the
but
Riz.
I'm really
I
not,
really
guys.
cannot read the Riz.
Yeah, I know.
So, another big thing that we like get asked about is, do we like actually care about how we look, or is that something that may not like matter as
Yeah.
much to us since we can't see ourselves, obviously?
Okay. So for me, like, I would say a normal day, I wake up and I'm going to school. Number one, I'm not a morning person. So I hate, like, if it's early, I'm less likely to go through anything to do with my appearance. But obviously, I don't want to look like a bum. Like,
You do
brush.
anyways, though.
Oh. So I think you're always beautiful, Hayes. But, if you feel that way, like, about me, like, that's fine. Like, I
I
understand.
do.
Okay.
No,
That's
you're
okay.
beautiful. It's fine.
Thank you. But I brush my hair, I brush my teeth, I actually wear like clothes that match and stuff. Do I wear sweatpants and sweatshirts sometimes? 100%. Yes, I do. And I do not care if hair's in a ponytail. Like, I do not
Comfort is
put very much,
beauty.
yeah, exactly. I do not put very much effort into my appearance beyond societal norms of looking good. I do care about that. I would say I don't enjoy like being in a frilly dress and being all pretty and sparkly and like twirling in front of the mirror and going dress shopping and like being a girly girl. Like I feel like that's like not really me. Like I don't know. That's just kind of always been how it is. But I I do enjoy feeling good in like what I'm wearing and like if I had a date, for example, I would want to look nice and like feel good in what I was wearing and be like, oh, I look so cutesy and aesthetic right now. Like, look at me. So I would say I really don't care, but then also to an extent I do. And that's where I really value like cited advice. Shout out to Natalie, my sister. I don't think she's watching this because yeah, it's fine. But I ask her for fashion advice a lot and like advice on how to look cool because
Oh, I
she's
did the same when I was at your house and going on a date.
yeah, she's
Really,
way
she gives
cooler.
great fashion
She is
advice.
way cooler than me. I would never
Yeah.
admit that
No, she
to
is
her
really
face, but she's way cooler than me.
Yeah, Natalie. We have her on. She's the best.
We did have her on. She's awesome. But
Me and her are
yeah,
like better friends than me and Layla at this point.
it's actually bad. But yeah, I mean, cited fashion advice is very nice, and I would say I care, but not a ton. So that's my prerogative.
Yeah, I'm the same way because it honestly mostly stems from the fact that I'm really not a morning person and I barely have the energy to brush my hair and teeth, but I do it obviously because, we do that. Now, yeah, if I am interested in someone, I will put in a little more effort, but also I'm not like a super like dresses person. I'll wear dresses occasionally. If I had to, I'd honestly rather wear a skirt, but sorry, I'm not gonna like talk about like my whole like clothing.
Yeah,
Unless you
You're
want us
good.
to. We totally can.
It's okay.
Okay, I went to Sadie Hawkins and like I was excited to wear a dress for that. Get my hair looking nice. And Layla doesn't and some blind people don't, some
You
do.
can say I'm a bum.
No, you're not. That's not what I was gonna say. I was just gonna say, you don't ever really wear like makeup.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I don't wear makeup some blind people wear makeup every day. Yet again, I'm just a morning person, and
You're not a morning person.
I mean, yeah. I'm not a morning
Yeah, you're
person,
good.
and I don't have the energy or the care to do that because I mostly just wear makeup for like special occasions. We could talk about that more.
We can do an
I'd
episode on that actually.
I would probably want to get someone who knows a little more because honestly, my makeup routine is like 3 steps maybe.
Okay, that's more than mine.
Yeah, yours just like
Mine doesn't have any
splash
steps.
water on your face.
Yeah, I splash water on my face. I use my pimple cream.
Your what?
My pimple cream.
Your pimple cream?
Yeah, that's it.
That's real.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I don't do much, but you know, it definitely is. I can't speak for guys, but I think, you know, me and Layla are girls, so we're hardwired to sometimes want to have those little girly moments where we feel all cute and all that stuff. So yeah. Well, now let's go into our fun round where we are each going to share with you a blind green flag. So, you know, something that if you do to a blind person, we will be like, oh my god, yeah. And then we're going to share how to be a blind green flag. And, you know, a little rizful blind flirting tip for you blindies out there. So.
For you blindies. And then, are we sharing red flags too or not?
Do you have
I think we should. I have some blind, like a red flag, like, okay, if someone does this to me when they meet me, I'm like, eh.
Okay, I'm sure I can think of one. I mean, there are a lot of red flags in general, but I bet you I could think of a blind one.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we'll see. I'm gonna start with my red flag because you gotta get the bad over with. Blind red flag, if I meet someone and they do this to me because I'm a blind person, because, you know, didn't see that coming and, you know, we're all about blindness here. If someone does this to me, I'm automatically like, ew. When I clearly articulate, you know, like, okay, yeah, like I'm blind, like I can't see, like whatever. Anything they do before that, I honestly don't really care as long as you don't like grab me and like drag me somewhere. Like, obviously anything they do before that, like it really is ignorance. And if I clearly articulate that I'm blind and they, number one, like jump back and are like, oh my gosh, like, oh no, like, oh my gosh. Or if they're
someone
like,
done that to you?
No, but I feel like it's gonna happen one day. Or if they're like, okay, so, like, I'm like, okay, like, you're just making a fool of yourself right now. Like, please stop. And you're just, yeah. Or if they get overly nice. Like, if they're like, oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to share 3, but there you go.
Good.
Okay, and then my green flag, for a blind green flag, is like honestly asking questions. Because no, like, okay, if you've met a blind person before or if you are a blind person, that's different. But for a sighted person who's never met a blind person before, they aren't gonna know everything, right? And like, I know we say like, oh, we get these questions all the time, but honestly, I love when people have the courage to ask me and treat me like a normal person that just is different from them and asking questions. And I always say like, it's better to ask than assume. And so that really, like, I've had friends that ask me like a lot of questions and I give them a hard time about it, right? I'm like, why are you asking me another question? But honestly, like, it's fun. Like, I love it. So I would say that's my green flag. And then blind flirting tip. If you know they're there, but you don't want them to know you're there, but you want them to notice you, accidentally bump into them. Because like we do that sometimes, but you can also do it on purpose. And you're like, oh, sorry, like I didn't mean to do that. And then they're like, oh, like you're good. And then you can just start talking to them and it like starts conversation and they like think you're a little cute and clumsy and like they might think you're helpless, but it's fine. Like,
okay, but Layla, what's really funny is I'm picturing you doing that right now, being like so obvious about it.
I totally would. I'd be like, oh, sorry. Did I just bump you? Like,
you would like pretend to like fall down or something.
I totally would.
Okay, but I mean, would that be a little cute? Honestly, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, way for someone who's not smooth, because neither me or Layla are smooth.
Yeah. All right, Hayes, go ahead.
Okay, so my red flag is whenever you are like, biggest red flag is like you like talking to other people like I'm not there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or like talking through me, like you like asking someone else like questions for me. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know why, but that's one thing. Does she want this? Really irks me. Is when people do that. Mm-hmm. Green flag is you just making an effort to include me in like a group conversation, like being like, oh, hey, it's like everyone's, you know, sitting over here, why don't you come sit with us? Or trying to include me in a group conversation that may be visual, like walking over to me being like, hey, everyone's laughing because like this kid just like did this thing that was like really funny that like I know you couldn't see. So things like that are honestly one of the like biggest red flags.
Yeah. Green flags.
Not red flags. Green flags is just people who are like instinctually like really like inclusive.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like that's one of the like most like I'm like, oh, but flirting tip, we've already said this before, but if you're ever attracted to someone and you need help, don't do the boring sighted guide where you grab their arm above their elbow. Do that in like every other circumstance, but ask to hold their hand and
100%.
just walk with them. I'm still waiting to use that, but we'll get there.
Oh, I've done it.
I know you have.
We don't need to talk about that, but I did do it, and it was pretty nice. And it didn't really work, but it's okay.
But it could work.
It could work. It's it's gonna work eventually. I have faith.
Yeah.
It just didn't work for that.
Just didn't work
for that
this
one.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But happy Valentine's Day to you all, whether you are dating, whether you are single, whether you are celebrating it with your Galentines, which
we love that.
One of the best
Do dudes have like Galentines? Like, is that like a thing? Dudentines.
Or Broentines.
Broentines. Yeah, no. Let us comment down below, dudes, if that's like a thing, and if you're having a Broentine.
Have any questions? Let us know, because we would enjoy doing a Q&A again.
Another Q&A, yeah.
Or if you just have episode suggestions, we love those.
Mm-hmm. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you have a great Valentine's Day. We won't see you later.